Good morning, everyone. If you can give me a comm check on all channels, that'd be super duper. While I turn off this banner down here, it says we're going to be here at 9. There we go. All set. And I forgot to get my cough drop in, so we'll see what happens. All right, so let's see if you hit the live stream yesterday. We talked mostly about politics. Today we're going to spin it up. We're going to make this about bartering. We don't talk enough about bartering because believe it or not, it's a very opinionated question, idea, thought, theory, whatever you want to call it. Potential spam. No, thank you. Goodbye. Let's see. So a lot of times what I like to do is I'd like to do a little bit of research. Now, hold on. Before we get into this, let's make sure we hit that thumbs up button. It's going to drag more people in here. And I think that this information is good for everybody, regardless of how they feel about the world. And two, if you're new to the channel or watching later, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we're going to be doing more and more things like that. Yeah, that was definitely spam. Unfortunately, the world is trying to crush me right now, guys, and so I'm a little distracted. But I've got some pretty good notes. I did some research last night, and I'm part of a lot of different preparedness groups, so it's really easy to get a perspective, within 24 hours on what people generally think about a specific subject. So I like to do my research before I do these live streams on specific things like bartering. Yeah, I did that. So I got that to share with you. Now, before we do that, let's go ahead and you know what? Let's go and talk about the Rumbles first. The Rumblers, you Rumblers, you. Hicktown Honey first. Good Boys Guild number 2. And nobody checked in. There's 7 people watching on Rumble, but apparently nobody wants to be deterred. Let's see. Bradley Collins, he was 20 minutes early. First, Viking Queen, number 2. And Grumpy Panda, you are deterred. Then we got Catitude. We got Rose. We got Nick Lilito. We got Bob Peta, Southern Tier Prepper, Gibbsby, and Tina Price, Ian Scott, Beecher, Deanna. What do we got here? Timito. I always screw your name up, bro. Timoteo. There we go. We got Nick. I listed to City Prepper, and he said a good barter item is. Oh, I listened. I got you. And he said good barter. It's true. It's true. We're going to go over a lot of that stuff too. Let's see. Gibbsby says I barter a lot, especially garden plants. I like it. And West Virginia Pappy says sup, and he's omnipresent as usual. Okay, so all the accolades have been thrown out. Looks like everybody is happy and ready to move forward. So I'm going to, man, I got this cough drop. I really want. We're going to take a couple seconds just to get that formulated. Hopefully you don't hear me chewing or anything. I'm going to stick that under like a lump of skull or something. We'll see if we can get that. My voice isn't so scratchy right now. Good Boys Guild says, I honestly think bartering is an okay thing. Doesn't mean you will do it. Doesn't mean you will do it with everyone. And that's very true. That's very true. There's a lot of opinions. So listen to the question. We're going to start with the question that I threw out to this preparedness group. All right. So here's the question. In preparation for a future where stores are closed and bartering becomes essential, is it wise to stockpile high-value items such as non-perishable foods, hygiene products, and medical supplies and tools? Items like batteries, water, purification tablets, and portable cooking equipment can also be highly valuable in trade. Additionally, consider collecting small luxury items like coffee, alcohol, and tobacco, which might become particularly desirable for bartering. Have you prepared for such a scenario? And if so, what items have you stockpiled? Now, I got a mixed bag of responses from this question, but I picked out a few of them that were interesting. And one of the replies was, I have no plans on bartering and I don't share what I got. Not wise to advertise. Now, this is not a wrong assumption. This is not a bad theory. This is just what this person believes. And in an SHTF situation, which I mean, it is what it is. Everybody, equates SHTF with the apocalypse or whatever. It's just in a bad situation where people need things. Those decisions that you make now might rapidly change in the future. So the next response that I picked out was, no, I don't plan to barter anything if I can help it. They know you got it. They will come back to get it. I will have a few things, but what I prep is for me and my family. So once again, they're holding their cards close to their chest. This sounds like, it almost sounds a little like more like fear than anything else. Maybe they're not confident in their ability to protect themselves and their family. It could be anything. Another response was, I tend to think barterable or barterable services are things to consider. Learn how to make medicine from plants. Know how to forage. Medical skills will be needed. Woodworking, mechanical abilities. Things that have woodworking and mechanical abilities. So now we're talking about services as a barterable skill. It could just be manual labor. It could be knowing how to do a specific thing that other people don't know how to do. So that's their logic on that one. And then the last one that I have, no, I'm sorry, I've got a handful of them here. Looks things that have no supply issue. Things that have no supply issue because you are the supply. Just a thought. I don't know what that means. Let's see here. I prep for my immediate neighbors who will provide this 65-year-old single woman with security. Okay, completely different perspective. Single older lady here. I don't or will never let anyone outside my trusted circle know that I have barter items. Now they know you have things in your house that they may want. Nope. I've made a pact with trusted friends and neighbors. Okay, so basically she's prepping and just planning on these people protecting her. All right, so let's look at the chat real quick. Got a lot of people. Miss Melody showed up. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, girl. Bradley says, my dang screen froze with 5 minutes to go and just kept jumping back. Man, what did I miss? Bradley, we're talking about we're talking about bartering items, bartering mentality. Let's see. Good Boys Guild says on Rumble, I'm going to be the guy from the book of Eli and only have a chapstick to barter. Well, good luck. Okay, so moving right into it. What I've done is I've made a small list, and then what I did was I realized these lists have like categories. They fall into categories, So I broke them into categories, and I do not have the infinite list. If you're here for the definitive list of things to barter with, you came to the wrong place. Swipe left. But if you're here to think about bartering and get an idea of certain things and have a conversation about it, then you're in the right place. Now, before we get into the list, guys, I want to talk to you guys briefly about Prep Stock. Prep Stock is going Nebo, North Carolina, October 12th or the 13th. I haven't said that in a while. It used to just roll off the tongue. And the tickets are selling. They are selling. We have a good amount of people coming already. And we got more product rolling in than we know what to do with, guys. If you didn't know this, if you show up at Prep Stock, there is an excellent chance that you will walk away with some form of prize for your preparedness. Some of them in the hundreds of dollars, some of them in $10 to $15. It's a mixed bag, but someone's walking away with something. If you don't have your tickets, prepstock.net. Please go there, look around. Also, camping is becoming an issue. You're now going to, I think there was one campsite left that is within hiking distance of the event site. And now it's either hotels or you go to a drive-in campsite that has, some of them have power too, that are on the other side of the lake. It's an 11-minute drive. So don't don't let it break your heart if you have to camp on the other side of the lake. Hicktown Honey says, I have a barter box. Hopefully I don't need it. Best case, I have abundance of supplies. Worst case, I have trade. Exactly. 100%. Okay, so this is going to be an interactive show, guys. And when we're going through some of these items, I know that some of you are just listening in the background, and I'm going to be referring back to the chat every time we talk about a specific section. And some of these will actually go kind of quick. So where are we at here? Let's talk about some items in specific groups. I'll tell you a few items per section, and then you will post your ideas for items to barter with. These items are valuable in barter situations due to their utility, long shelf life, and difficulty to produce or acquire in a crisis scenario. So the first one, guys, everybody's like cigarettes, beer, alcohol, fire, pick lighters, knife. No, guys, the number one item is food supplies. When the people go looking around for stuff, it's because they're hungry. It's not because they need to sharpen their knife or light a cigarette. Okay, those things come later. So some of the items that I have put, and I want you to put things in the chat because, like I said, I'm going to go read them as we do this. It's going to be a cycle. Okay, mine that I've put on here are canned vegetables. You should be typing right now. Dried beans, rice, honey, and freeze-dried meals. And remember, these are barter items, but obviously you can consume them yourself. When we talk about food supplies that we're going to give away, then we have to think about like, hey, I should want to eat this myself. I might like this. It's that whole mentality of buying something that someone else might like that you don't like. It's a little like not smart. So taking a look at the chat right here. Let's see. Sonny started talking like crazy. Welcome, Sonny. Wait, Tafel, good to see you, bro. Where are we at? SHTF short term, but bartering isn't a bad idea. But if you think it's long term, I would definitely try and make connections with people that can work together and live longer. Yes, absolutely. Where are we at here? And then we're not talking about firearms yet, Sonny. We'll get there. Let's see here. Bradley says water. Yes, bottles of water. That is definitely a food supply, I think. Let's see here. Sonny also said I would have to be dying without the trade, and I did have to know that they have what I need and will accept what I offer, or why reveal my presence. Yeah, see, that's the thing about bartering. You don't really know what's going to happen. So Ian says canned meat. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see here. I'm going over to the Rumble side now. And Good Boys Guild says honey, freeze-dried meals, medication, water purifying, and matches. And when we're talking about water purification, guys, water purification, that is in a section all its own, and we will be definitely getting to that here shortly. All right, let's see here. Sonny says, no, we did that already. Cancer. Okay, well, we appreciate that, Sonny, and thank you for sharing so openly with us. But let's stay on point, bro. Let's stay on point. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next section, which some of the people actually kind of jumped right to, and that is water purification. And I think what I'll do is when I'm done with this video, and after it's like processed through YouTube and all that stuff, I will actually go in and change I'll add these specific sections, not all of the list, but just like the specific sections to the what's the word I'm looking for here? The description. All right, let's see here. So in number 2 is water purification. And when we talk about water purification, and if I miss one, guys, definitely jump in the chat. And let's see, we've got water purification tablets, which I think is probably the smartest way to do it because they're very small, they're inexpensive, and they actually will last much longer than a life straw will. What we got here? Portable water filters. So if you want to buy them, one of those, if you want to have, I guess, the off-brand life straws, water filters to throw inside of a bug out or a giveaway bag or something to that effect, that could work. Water purification straws, which is what we've just talked about. Water purification drops. They actually make water purification drops. They also make light ones, but they're a little expensive. And then obviously boiling pots. If they can find the water and they have a pot and they can make a fire, then they can boil that water and kill all that nasty protozoan bacteria. Looking at the chat here, Tuck BV. I don't know how to say that right, bro, but I'm giving it a shot. And welcome to the channel. I don't recognize you. Make sure you subscribe. People in medium to high population density areas will have, you know what? I forgot I can do this. Boom. Will have to make barter part of their daily life if they want to stand NH. Absolutely. 100%. It's 100% true. So it is what it is. Let's see here. I was meaning a Sawyer for bartering. Yeah, I got you, Sawyer. Firewood. That's I guess if we're gonna give if we're gonna give them boiling pots, then we might as well give them some firewood. Beecher, good to see you. Let's see. Let's see. Nobody is risking barter for anything but essentials. Hard to get stuff like medicines. Yeah, I think it really has a lot to do with the situation, Sonny. I'm not seeing anything on the Rumble side, so we'll just continue and move on. All right, so the next category was medical supplies. And then in that particular area is bandages, basic bandages, antiseptic wipes, pain relievers, e.g. aspirin, Tylenol, etc., antibiotics, antibiotic ointments, and sometimes personal prescriptions. If you have a large prescription for something that makes pain go bye-bye, that could be something that you could barter with. I would caution you when in doing that. Obviously that would be a full-up SHTF situation, or somebody really needed it because they were in lots and lots of pain because of probably an injury or something like that. But, then there's always the junkies that might come around. You might have to teach them how to use a shovel on the top of the hill, that kind of thing. So let's see here. I'm not seeing if you can't even find water or firewood, there's no hope for you anyway. Oh, gotcha. I gotcha. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on. I'm not seeing you guys. Maybe am I moving too fast on these for you guys to keep up as far as the chat, because the chat has slowed down. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is fuel and energy. So one of the things that I never thought about was propane canisters, those little 1 pound, or actually they're either 1 or 5, I'm not sure, propane canisters, like for cooking on grills and stuff, the little green ones. And then, like we talked about before, with the firewood is also on the list for fuel and energy. Then you've got solar powered chargers that you could barter with. Just those little handheld ones that you plug USB stuff into, keep things charged up. Then we've got here batteries. Yeah, batteries. That falls under fuel and energy. And then obviously we've got the butane lighters, which pretty much last almost forever, and yeah, have so many uses. Have so many uses other than just lighting cigarettes. Let's see here. West Virginia Pappy says 1 pound. So those little green ones are 1 pound. Thank you, West Virginia Pappy. Tuck BV says, in a grid failure event, any cooking fuel will be very valuable in my area. Firewood isn't thick on the ground here. I gotcha. Exactly. It's all situation, right? The old Zippo lighter. Yeah, I'm not a real fan of Zippos. Zippos, the fuel that's inside that Zippo is constantly evaporating. If you guys didn't know that or not, like fill one up and throw it in a drawer for a month and come back and try and light it, it's probably not going to light. Um, but I mean, still, I like Zippos when I smoked, something years ago. They're cool, but it's as far as survival wise, you can't really put them on the shelf and they'll last forever, kind of thing. Sonny says, better have 90 days worth of food that requires no cooking, like granola, jerky, powdered milk, Kool-Aid, nut butters, flour, tortillas, salad dressing, jelly. Gotcha. All right, let's see here. We're going to go ahead and move on to number 5, which is hygiene products. Now, this is one that a lot of people don't think about. There was a comment in this thread that I was following yesterday. I actually created it, but the person talked about diarrhea and how diarrhea has supposedly killed more people than starvation. And it is, you get yourself in a pinch. I think we take for granted our level of hygiene in the Western world, because the water's always on, the water's always hot. There's always some little next to your sink to get soap out of. Everything is antibacterial, which is good and bad. All of our food has been sanitized, basically, if you didn't know that. So hygiene products are actually kind of important, because in an SHTF grid down, just a really bad situation, you want to keep your body as clean as possible, to keep from degrading, to getting sick and such. Let's see here. So on my list, I've got soap, toothpaste, feminine hygiene products, very important, toilet paper, the golden toilet paper, and hand sanitizer. These are all solid preps. These are all solid, just solid preps in general, but they're also solid bartering preps as well. So, basically you can, man, I've been on some deployments where toilet paper was gold. So let me go ahead and check the chat right here. I don't know what's going on inside my, it's like the Rumble people are not participating. I know that some of them are just listening at work, but it's kind of freaking me out a little bit, because the chat is not doing anything. So if you're chatting, if you're posting on Rumble, I am not seeing anything past Good Boys Guild comment about honey and freeze-dried meals. All right, let's see. We're going to go and check the Rumble out. Let's see here. What we got here? Justin Soap. Let's see here. Have longer propane tanks to refill. I got you. Sonny says SHTF is going to mean combat, disease, fires, cannibalism, dog packs, hunting humans. It sounds like a great movie. Let's see here. Rose says, have kits with hand wipes, Clorox wipes, and gloves available. Yes, the ability to sanitize your environment can change the game. And that's what those Clorox wipes are for. Especially if you end up in like an outdoor kitchen scenario, you need to be able to do that. Can you refresh Rumble CHSD? I'm just doing other things. Yeah, I'm not worried about you, Good Boys Guild. I thought the chat has frozen up. It looks like it has not. So thank you very much for confirming that. What do we got here? Let's see. Tuck BV says, I have a lot of anti-diarrheal on hand. Hopefully that's not for a reoccurring problem, but yes. And the funny thing too, guys, that is a very common medication that no one thinks about. You can go to the Walmart and buy like a pack of, no, you can go to the $1.25 tree and buy like a little box of anti-diarrhea of like 10 or 15 tablets. That's like 10 or 15, like you're not going to die tablets of dehydration, because once you start to get the diarrhea, you are dehydrating yourselves rapidly. You know what I'm saying? And so that pill can save your life. So I would definitely have some of that on hand, let alone maybe the ability to give it away. Let's see here. West Virginia, I keep Ivory soap for barter, no additives. Yes, and it'll stay on your shelf like forever. As long as you can keep that package from degrading, maybe put it in some kind of plastic container and keep it out of the sun, keep it out of the heat, keep it from getting moist in any way, and that soap will basically last forever. Let's see here. Constipation will kill you in short order if you don't know what to do about it. Absolutely true. Bradley, it's better to take those 17-pound tanks to get refilled at like Tractor Supply rather than swapping. You get more fuel this way. They're having a conversation about, if you guys didn't notice in the chat, they're having a conversation about propane tanks. Let's see here. West Virginia Pappy, refresh chat. All right, what do we got here? Notice it's often shells these days. All right. Well, I'm not posting all that. If you're out of toilet paper or feminine napkins, revert to clean rags, washcloths that you can wash and reuse, as did years ago before disposable became popular. Totally true. Totally true, Rose. What do we got here? We got Sunny. Let's see. Nobody can work for free. Not crops, not troops, not the power station or water treatment. Okay, not really on point, but okay. I'm looking for something pertinent here. You guys are like yapping away, but hey, you're keeping it. I appreciate you guys putting the comments because I realize this is work on your end. Dollar Tree used to carry where we get Dollar Tree used to carry Imodium equivalent. Not sure now. Still cheap at Walmart though. So, or stool softeners, etc. Epsom salts. Yes, actually, the old chemicals, the old things we used to use. Justin says, I've been organizing and thinking a lot about hand tools. Having a good saw if you don't have power yep, absolutely. Tools will be more valuable than most things. All right. Okay, so let's see here. Where are we at here? Rose Stoller. There's quite a few tutorials on making reusable pads out there. Gotcha. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and try and move on from hygiene products. But before we do that, guys, we're going to talk very briefly about let's see here. What are we going to talk about? Let's talk about what are we doing here? I guess let's talk about one of the sponsors of Prep Stock, Jace Medical. Guys, Jace Medical has been making antibiotics for some years now, or should I say providing them to the world, to the preparedness community. I was actually one of their very first affiliates. I'm an affiliate for other different companies that I've just never turned off, but I never promote them because Jace is the best. Also, Jace has lots of add-ons when you order your kit, like the I and the ver and the mech and the 10, and they can add all of those things to your kit if you want them to. Also, Jace has something called Jace Daily. So if you are on medications that you need to survive, what's your prep plan? That's the real question. What is your plan to have these medications available to you when things go bad? We saw a couple months ago where the hackers basically took down Walgreens and CVS, and people were not able to get their prescriptions. It's odd too, because it never made the national news, which is really, really weird. You would think that would make the national news. Anywho, so Jace Daily offers you the opportunity to have a stockpile of these medications. And when you get them, what you do is you just start to rotate them like a medicine cabinet, almost like a prepper pantry, but for medicine. And then you never run out. And yeah, that's what I recommend you do. Also, if you do it, 10% savings code, use LocalPrepper10, and you'll save 10% off of your purchase from them. Be adults, spend your money the way you want to. There'll be a link in the description. All right, so we're going to go ahead and throw that out there. And let's see. Number 6, what is going on here? Nothing. All right, so number 6, tools and equipment, which some people, they have jumped onto. They've jumped onto it. You know what? We might, hold on. I got a bunch of stuff in the comments here I might need to read here before. Let's see here. Sunny's blowing up the chat. Roughly how much is the Jace case? The Jace case, I believe, is $299. So that 10% savings code is going to help you out. Let's see here. Books and board games for kids. Somebody will die. Yes, we know all of this. All right. So, yeah. All right, guys. Let's see. Number 6, tools and equipment. Let's try and stay on point, Sonny. Let's see here. Multi-tools, knives, shovels, axes, and flashlights. Now, I've seen somebody has already posted something in there, too. Rose has got pens, paper, pens, pencils. Education needs to continue somehow if we're truly grid down. Also, coloring books and crayons for children. Absolutely. All right, let's see here. So on the multi-tools, that could literally be anything. Obviously the term multi-tool means, is associated with those little Gerber devices. I personally think that they're way overpriced. And the reason is because you can buy a comparable tool that does the same exact thing for a third of the value. You have to do is look for them. And no, I don't care where they're made. I just care if they work. Let's see here. Knives, multiple different types of knives. If I were going to be bartering with knives, I would probably just have a handful of pocket knives. I don't want I don't know. You start thinking about knives. My brain says tools, but other people's might think weapons, and that's something to think about. Shovels, those could be very, very solid tools for people who are trying to rebuild, or people who are trying to, rebuild. Axes, obviously, that's for cutting wood, and making fire, things like that. And then obviously flashlights. You can buy very cheap flashlights that have the little plastic slippy thing in there to keep the battery from doing anything. And I think those are $2 now, maybe $2, maybe $3. It used to be $1 at Walmart. I don't know how much they are now, but they're probably somewhere in the $2 range. Let's see here. The next one. Let me check the chat real quick. Rakes and hose for farming. Yes, absolutely. Craigslist is worth a minute a day for tool hunting if you're on a budget. Absolutely. I'm gonna pin that one up there for you. Tuck by V. I'm just gonna call you Tuck. But yes, that is definitely something to go after right there. Where are we at here? Bradley says rakes and hose. We got that. And West Virginia Pappy goes hose, rakes, and such for gardening. So like-minded individuals posting. I love it. Tuck works. Good, because that's what I'm calling you, man. It's just too hard for me to pronounce this early in the morning. Okay, so moving along here. I'll play catch up if I see any more from that from tools. Number 7, clothing and shelter. So when we make this list, the easy ones to give away are blankets. Believe it or not, they still make lightweight wool blankets. They're used in emergency settings. They're not super duper expensive. And you could buy those and give those away or barter with them. They actually come in their own carrying cases now. We've got a couple of those to give away at Prep Stock. Let's see here. Let's see, warm clothing, e.g. black jackets. So yeah, maybe they need a jacket, maybe they don't. Tents have become, believe it or not, you can buy a tent for almost nothing now. A little 2-man tent, and it's we're When we start to look at these lists, it's all about, oh, excuse me. Oh, there it is. Finally. We're thinking of bartering. We're not thinking of like get away from me, giving away, helping the individual. We're talking about bartering. So if you had a tent you could barter with, you've got the leverage. Next thing is tarps. Everybody loves a good tarp. Hold on, what's going on here? Nothing. So tarps are a solid bartering item. And then lastly, sleeping bags. If it's wintertime, everybody wants a sleeping bag. Hopefully it's a good one. If you've got them. And it's funny too, because right now, Walmart is got in the majority of its clearance aisles, they're selling 40-degree mummy bags, some off-brand company, for $23 a bag. Go check it out. Let's see here. We're going to go ahead and check the chat right now. Where are we at here? Tobacco and alcohol. Ben, nice. Well, I don't think we've got there yet, but yes, that is not part of the clothing and shelter section of this video. But yes, tobacco and alcohol are solid barter preps. Let's see here. West Virginia Pappy says, learn to visit flea markets to get things and things are scrolling like crazy here. To get things and learn how to barter. Yes, absolutely. Let's see here. Anyone might do anything you can't risk. Okay. We're going to see how that works. Let's see here. Tarps make a good emergency roof repair. Absolutely. Tuck says, in my zone, swap sleeping bags for mosquito netting. I got you, bro. I got you. Rose says, old surgery. Let's see here. Old surgery nurse have medical knowledge on use of instruments, available suture kits, suture for injuries, knowledge of splinting of limbs in case of fractures. Gotcha, Rose. Coffee and pet food. There you go. I don't know about the pet food. I mean, some animal lovers are going to be like, yeah, hell, they might eat it themselves, but coffee, definitely. However long that would last. Let's see here. Miss Melody, I already took care of that. Thank you very, very much, young lady. I appreciate you. Let's see here. Rose, Tuck says, Rose, wish I was your neighbor. I got you. West Virginia Pappy says, freeze dried coffee. Yes. I used to do that all the time, and I need to get back in that habit. I used to go to the $1.25 tree back when it was just the Dollar Tree. And that was one of my major preps. I would go get those little jars of freeze-dried coffee. I mean, they're already sealed. So, and I hate to say it, but their seals aren't that great because the glue that they use dries up, and then it allows air in, but still freeze-dried coffee, right? So I literally I would be constantly rotating these jars of freeze-dried coffee in my house. So I don't know how much they are right now, but yeah, you can still get them for almost nothing at the $1.25 tree. Let's see here. You're exactly right. Bartering nursing skills is a great idea. Yes, bartering skills is definitely an idea. It's definitely an idea, and it's a good one too. Good Boys Guild on Rumble says solar lights. That way people can light their houses without burning it down. There you go. Let them charge all day long and then bring them inside. It's pretty freaking smart. You can still pick up some of the old cheapos and freaking at either Wally World or sometimes the $1.25 tree store for minimal cost. Let's see here. All right, so now we're starting to get into the nitty gritty of this, guys. We got our last two that are going to be like things to kind of talk about a little bit. And where are we at here? I think before we do anything with that, I'm going to go ahead and promote these guys right here. Parcel Safety, you can savings code LocalPrepper 20% off. Guys, these guys have been running deals all holiday. And one of the things that they do is they kind of leave their links active after a sale. It's like they forget to turn them off. So you kind of get a sale. And sometimes what happens is you can double stack. It's like double coupon day at Parcel Safety, and so whatever they're running, as far as the sale goes, you can get on that, and then you can add my code and save another 20%. And guys, lately the savings have been dramatic. I mean, it's been pretty wild. So definitely check out Parcel Safety. Having a good field protective mask is definitely something you're going to need. Regardless of how you feel about all the different situations in the world or whatever you're preparing for, there's been more times that I know. Is my screen flashing, guys? There's been more times than I know where a field protective mask either should have been on my face or I should have been using it to do certain different things. Also, they make masks if you are in one of those zones that are like in the mountains that like to burn down all the time during the summertime. Hint, hint, we're there. It's going to start happening soon. Then they also make masks. They also make filters that will filter the smoke particulates out of the air and let you survive and escape. So something to think about. Make sure you guys remember that you're adults and do adult things with your money. I'm going to go ahead and change this to, where are we at here? It's like I'm missing an entire template. It's so weird. I don't know what's going on here. I'm going to have to fix it later. We're just going to go back to, well, that's not right. There we go. We're going to do that one right there. Okay, so guys, the last two that we've got, it looks like I got a new comment here. Let's, yeah, we're moving on to that, Ben. We are moving on to that. All right, so number 9, you guys have all alluded to it. This one shouldn't take too long to talk about, but alcohol and tobacco. Number 9. Bottles of whiskey. You can still buy those little bitty bottles of vodka, whiskey, rum, whatever is your flavor. You know what I'm saying? At the local ABC store or however they do it at your state. Yeah, you can still buy them. Matter of fact, you can buy these little cases of like 24 of them if that's what the direction you want to go. Wine is interesting because as long as you're rotating it and keeping it in a cool, dark place, it will essentially last forever. So it's something to think about as a bartering item. Cigarettes. It's funny too, because I don't know if they changed the law in New York, but in most cities, you used to be able to go into the bodegos and buy a single cigarette for $1. And if you do the math, that's $20 for a pack of cigarettes, which tax wise, they're making their way up to that, but it's something to think about. Rolling tobacco. And as long as you can keep that sucker, that bag of rolling tobacco up in, a cool, dry place, it can last a long time if you can keep it in a moist environment. And the thing is you've got to think about it too. People buy very expensive cigars, keep them in humidors and make them last for a very long time. So it can be done. And then also cigar packs. And it's the same exact thing, like the one of my vices are the Swisher Sweets. I like all the size. I like all sizes, but just having that flavor, that taste, and I didn't inhale. Anyway, alcohol and tobacco. Hey, Spags, good to see you, bro. Hey, look, by the way, guys, if you haven't noticed, Spags is the dude that's actually he's right there. That guy, that's Spags. So Spags Unfiltered. Let's see here. Looks like we got some other things going on in the chat here. What's up? Been a Hot minute. Hope you're good, LP. I am good as can be. Let's see here. Everybody's saying hi to Spags. Let's see here. Okay, so Spag says, I'm going to make you famous real quick. If you're going to store tobacco, get the large bags of tobacco and seal it. Store the stringer and tubes away cheaper. We don't know what that means, Spags, but that's okay. Let's see here. Tubik says, I think I store alcohol for barter. I'm getting the highest proof I can get. Yeah, absolutely. If you can get it for dual use, then you are definitely doing stuff. West Virginia Pappy says, make ethanol. Nice. Make ethanol. Okay. Spag says he's going to drop a link for how to do that. If that doesn't work, send it to me some other way. Don't text it to me because I can't do anything with it that way. Yeah, we can get to that point. All right, let's go ahead and one of these is on. We're going to turn Tux off right there. All right, so last but not least, everybody's favorite, ammunition and hunting supplies. Rifle rounds, shotgun shells, bow and arrow sets, fishing gear, traps, and snares. Now, we say rifle rounds specifically because, well, there's a lot of handguns, but let's face it, if you get in a gunfight or you need to take an animal down, your little pew on your hip probably isn't going to do a super good job of it. I mean, if you I'll be honest with you, if you've ever, no, I'm not even going to cover that. All I'm going to say is that animals are more resilient than you think they are, and that giving them a little pop from, handgun a lot of times will not do the trick immediately. Shotgun shells. Everybody will be wanting to do that because there'll be less skilled marksmen out there, and they're going to want to be able to use their shotguns. So shotgun shells, probably 12 gauge is the best. Not slugs either, because some of their barrels don't like slugs. Let's see here. Where we got here? Bow and arrow sets. These are things that you can use. I do have some of those things as well. I do not use them as often as I do. The key thing to remember about them is they are, as far as bartering tools, as something to barter with, a barter item. I think it's something, but I don't think that is it's a super good idea. So, and then fishing gear, that's a great idea. And then traps and snares. Most people won't know how to use traps and snares, and if they do set them up, they won't realize they left their human scent all over them, and they're probably not going to catch much of anything, especially with the traps. The snares, they got a better chance. Let's see. So we're going to go to the chat right here. Justin says, where are we at here? With it being tornado season, I've been thinking about building a cache to keep at a relative's house. Yes, do it. Yes. Totes, 2 to 4 totes with everything that you need. There's 1,000 YouTube videos on how to set that up to make sure that you have all the stuff that you need. You know what I'm saying? But yes, definitely do that, Justin. Let's see here. Where are we at here? Just like $3, large bag of tobacco. Where we got Rose is make nets for caching fish. Net bags, hood for doing dishes in a stream. Okay, that's pretty smart. That is pretty smart. Net bags, hood for doing dishes in a stream. Did it scouting years ago. Net bags to carry supplies. Yes, I really like that idea. So you can do dishes in a stream. You put your dishes in that net bag and put it in the stream, and you may not have to do anything but just leave it there and let it run. But at least your stuff's not going to go anywhere. Barter the birdshot, keep the 00. There you go. Spag says, unfiltered, what's the shelf life for? Oh, somebody's asking Spags. Okay. If you seal it in a seal a meal, I can't imagine that it would last. I can't imagine that it wouldn't last a while. Gotcha. So it's going to last for a good period of time. Nice. Okay, guys. So let's see here. We've been going at this for about 50 minutes, technically 59 minutes and 4 seconds, but there's always that 10-minute build up of time that I'm using that is yours. And so now it's time to give it back to you. All right, guys. If you like what I'm doing, do me a favor, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It does help. If you're new to the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button. Also, if you want to support the channel, there are links below, and there are links for the stuff that I've talked about inside of the video as well. As usual, stay safe. Have a great day, and I will see you when I see you. Now I'm going to go back to doing other things. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.